My story for how I started running is pretty interesting. I was living in Arizona and started filming daily video journals for myself where I went over how my day went. And after reviewing some of those videos, I noticed that my most productive days were days when I'd start my morning by hiking Camelback Mountain. Camelback Mountain is an amazing hike in Scottsdale. It's named Camelback because from a distance, it looks like a camel's back. Online, it says it takes about 2 to 3 hours to hike it. It always takes me about 24 minutes to go up and maybe 15 minutes to come down. I don't take any breaks going up. It's a really good full body workout and I just feel amazing after hiking it. When I first moved to Arizona, I didn't know a single person. I met this rich guy one night while out at the bars because we were with different girls who happened to be friends. The guy's name is JD. He's 42, just got out of a divorce, and is in incredible physical shape. While partying, I invited him to hike the mountain during sunrise. We carpooled in the morning and I was telling him about how great I feel after hiking Camelback, and that when I move from here I'm going to be bummed out because I won't have the mountain to hike every morning. I told him that I tried running, but it's just not the same. He assured me that running would absolutely give me the same results as hiking Camelback. He said if I'm not getting that feeling after running, I'm simply not doing it correctly. He said to run 3 to 5 miles and I should be good. We ended up hiking Camelback that morning. It was a Friday, and it was just as great as any other time I've hiked it. I ended up having a really fun weekend, probably the funnest one I've had since living in Arizona. The mask mandate got lifted and the nightlife was amazing. Fast forward to Sunday morning. After 2 nights of hard partying, I had woke up with one of the worst hangovers of my life. Since it was so bad, I challenged myself to hike the Phoenix Mountain Reserve. It's a much more difficult hike than Camelback, same elevation but it's much steeper. A bad hangover almost feels just as bad as the flu. You really just want to lay down all day and don't want to move. Because I personally believe that the universe rewards hard work, I forced myself to climb it without water. This made it especially brutal. I'm usually the fastest one on these hikes. I've climbed them maybe about 40 times and I've been the fastest person every single time except for once. While hungover, I was still faster than almost everybody I saw. It was definitely one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life. I was really close to asking someone for a little bit of water, but I chose not to. I wanted to push myself. This was very, very, very difficult. As I got down, I felt an incredible high. Just because I did something that was this difficult, I felt like I could do anything. This feeling is the gift that the universe will reward you with if you overcome something extremely difficult. I've become addicted to this feeling. Fast forward to Monday morning. I like to get to Camelback at around 7 a.m., but I woke up late this day. I got there around 9:30 and it was really packed. I've never seen it so busy. There were no parking spots. I was really disappointed. I wasn't sure what to do. Monday is my favorite day of the week. I like to start the week off by doing something really hard. Hiking Camelback was definitely part of my main plan. I was wasting so much time looking for parking, so I decided to just go for a run. It was really hot this day. I remember JD said to do at least 3 miles. I drove to a cool park in Scottsdale. I logged onto the Nike running app and started running. I ran for what I thought was a mile, then looked at the app to see it wasn't even a third of a mile. This was extremely discouraging. Once I finally got to a full mile, I felt like there was no way I could go any further, but I kept pushing. It was really hot and really, 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 really hard. Those hikes at Camelback were nothing compared to this. I decided not to drink water to make it harder. Getting to 3 miles felt like one of the hardest things I have ever done in my life. It felt like my body was going to give out, but I just kept pushing. It's hard to put into words how difficult this was, but I kept going. When I finally got to 3 miles, I told myself, only me and the universe know how hard this is, and I want to impress the universe. I want to push even harder. I made the decision to go to 5 miles at this point. These last 2 miles were insanely hard. No water, in the sun, first time running. I kept a poker face as I'd pass people, but I was on the brink of collapse. I kept thinking of giving up and just stopping, but I pushed through. I kept pushing and pushing. The last mile seemed eternal. As I circled around to make the 5 mile point, I decided to go just a little bit further towards my car. When I finally made it, I collapsed on the grass. I grabbed a gallon of water and was swallowing it like air. It took me a few minutes to start feeling normal again. After this run, After seeing that I was able to push myself beyond what I thought was possible, I became addicted. I was really sore for the next 2 days, so I rested. I had to drive to California to work on my van and get it registered. My mom lives in a city called Moreno Valley, about an hour east of LA. I was dreading going there because she has a lot of junk food at her house and it's always very difficult for me to be healthy. I also personally have never liked California since I grew up there. I had a good routine in Arizona and was just afraid I'd fall off track. I didn't run again until Thursday. When I ran, I pushed myself just like I did the first day and I got 8 miles, my second time running. Then the next day on Friday, I did 10 miles, my third time running. I partied on Friday night and woke up really hungover on Saturday. But no fucking excuses. I tried running a marathon this day. I only got to 11.5 miles before my legs just wouldn't work. I partied again on this night, woke up Sunday hungover. No fucking excuses again. I decided to run from my mom's house to the top of the M Mountain in Moreno Valley. I ran all the way there, but only got halfway up the mountain because I started to feel like I was gonna black out. This felt really dangerous. I was hallucinating on that mountain. This was my first time getting to this level of exhaustion. It actually felt like death could be near. It might sound crazy, but pushing myself on these runs have made me forget what the word hard even means. It hurts, I'm tired, but I keep going and eventually it goes away. Then it happens again. It gets hard, I keep going, and the feeling just goes away. Almost blacking out showed me what my limitation barrier is. I know it's time to stop when I start losing my vision and I enter the blackout phase of an endurance run. Now today is Monday, my favorite day of the week. I was really sore this day. I had put down 38 miles in the past 4 days as a brand new runner. My mom told me she was going running with the dog and invited me. I only planned on running 5 miles and working on speed because I was really sore. My legs just felt done. As I started running, I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna run 30 miles today. I did 10 miles like nothing, then did 4. It was getting harder, but I still felt decent enough to keep going. Then I did another 6. I was at 20 miles, 4 hours of running. This was barely my 5th day running for distance. I felt broken at this point. I could barely walk, but I kept going. My miles got slower and slower, but I kept going. I felt like I was running on broken glass. It hurt so bad, but I just kept going. I had every excuse to stop. Non-stop thoughts on slowing down, but I kept going. I eventually got to mile 25. I was almost at a marathon, 5 days in. This felt like my literal breaking point. My legs refused to work, but I kept going. I finally hit a marathon, 26.2 miles. I had powered through a marathon with 5 hours of running. Technically, anything past 26.2 miles is considered an ultra marathon. But the shortest official ultra marathon distance is a 50K, which comes out to 31 miles. The thought of running 5 more miles at this point literally seemed impossible, but I just kept going. I read David Goggins' book. He said when he ran his first 100-mile race, he was 100% broken at 70 miles. He had reached his physical limit, but he powered through that last 30. Being able to power through like that is what makes someone really stand out. Even though my body was done, I just kept going. Eventually, I hit 31 miles. It felt so amazing to have completed that. It's just running. Maybe it doesn't seem like a great accomplishment to some people, but I would really like to know how many people on the planet have ran an ultra marathon on their 5th day ever running, while having put down 38 miles the past 4 days prior. As a complete noob, I ran 79 miles in 5 days. How many people on the planet can say they did that? I read comments of people giving advice to aspiring ultra marathon runners. They say you have to train for years. It's a bucket list once in a lifetime accomplishment for most people. For me, it was just another Monday. My next run will be my 6th run. I'll be running 100 miles in under 24 hours. That's my goal for now. I've watched a lot of videos on 100 plus mile marathons. People seem extremely unprepared for those runs. I think it's because they never practice that distance until game day. That makes no sense to me. If you're going to do a 100-mile race, you should have 100-mile practice races. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to enter a 100-mile race at the end of the month, so I'm going to get some practice. I'm going to call this the real David Goggins Challenge. Ritz crackers, protein drinks, and a lawn chair.